Good evening. Good evening. This is the bad wolf. Some people call me Wolfie out there. Very nice. What's going on, good people? What's going on? It is the wolf. Hey, thank you for all the love over on TikTok. Once again, you guys have got my inboxes blown up everywhere, so I do apologize in advance if I can't get to you. It does not mean that I don't care. It just means that I do not have enough time, fingers in the day, um, to get to all the comments. So if I do get to yours, um, just know that it stuck out. I happen to see it, but so it's no disrespect. It's just you guys, seriously, like some of y'all might be like, man, I wish I had the infamy that the wolf has. You say that. You say that. But let me tell you, I understand now why stars, hide out and, don't answer your emails or calls or texts because they're getting blown up all the time. I see why they want to stay what? Private. So I don't mind it. I just wish that I could get to everybody, but unfortunately, well, no, I mean, fortunately, I'm not an AI, but when we can do that, maybe I will AI my brain and then you guys can pick it all you like. Till then, we got to do it the old-fashioned way. All right. So this particular video is about Terrafirma Jurisdiction. I know I talked about it before, but we're going to see how far we can kind of push Chat GPT here. And if you don't know what Terrafirma Jurisdiction is something I heard about long, long time ago. And but I didn't put it together with what it meant overall. I thought everything was just land. I didn't know that they were doing what they're doing with the water maritime admiralty jurisdiction thing. So now it all makes sense. All right. So let's just jump into this. So if you don't know what's going on, your first time here, don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe, join me on Black Site 32, basically join everything I got. You won't be sorry. Okay. Lots of good information, education and entertainment purposes only. You are grown. You can do your own decision making. I take no and assume no responsibility whatsoever for any videos, things said, commentaries, clients, triggerings, et cetera. None across the spectrum, 365. Yeah, all the way around and then some. All right. So what is this all about though? So we now know that the courts and then the states, the political corporate side of each state, separate from the republic side, which is, say, Florida state in comparison to state of Florida, the corporation. They operate in maritime admiralty jurisdiction. So 99% of your life, you are operating in and actually underwater. You have no rights. You are looked at as a dead entity with the all capitalized name. You are a member of theirs in that world, and you are product. You operate a legal person given to you by the birth certificate, given to you by the state. You've become a member of their private jurisdiction, but it's so big it's called the public. They operate under maritime. What does maritime mean? Maritime means water. Jurisdiction means as far as we have power. So you are operating under water, and admiralty meaning being controlled. Admiralty is the power on the water. Maritime is in the water, under the water. Maritime comes from the word merman, and that comes from merchant, merchandising, mercantile, and it comes from the ancient Atlantean language. Okay. The ancient Atlanteans are were a real people. I don't know if there's any alive or their societies alive somewhere in the private. They'd probably be some wealthy hidden family that you could never know their names. I don't know if any of them have directly survived. Most of them, if they are alive, would be through breeding into other cultures. But anyway, that's ancient history that they don't teach you guys. So anyway, so maritime is being used today. So that part of it's alive and well. here in the United States, and it's being operated around the world. Okay. Who are the members of this? Well, the Vatican, the Queen of England, King of England, and the City of London. All right. So they brought it here through the District of Columbia, which is not an American. It's not one of the 50 states of the United States of America. It's separate, private, and distinct. DC has its own laws, its own everything. So they can't really be neutral. It's not like it's some land where you can just do whatever you want. It's lawless. Somebody controls it. It's just neutral to the other states. All right. Now that you know that. So then what is terra firma? Well, terra firma jurisdiction is the land, the de jure, California state, Florida state, New York state, Wisconsin state, Illinois state, the republic, the people in that area make up the natives of the several states. How do we know that? GPO Styles Manual, section 5.23, issued by the government. Look it up, Buttercup. All these suckers of cock. I call them cocksuckers, but when you're professional at what you do, you have to reverse the terminology. So these suckers of cock, okay, out here who want to bother me and not even look up these terms and understand it. Well, I'm a lawyer, and what you're talking about, and I'm an officer of the law. Okay, that's fine. But see, you're not beating it with fact. You're trying to beat it. You're beating it, probably beating off, but beating it in your own mind because you feel an emotional way, and I get that. Actually, I respect that. I used to be there. And then somebody challenged me. They said, beat me using the law. So I said, okay, I'm going to learn it. I think I know so much about police officers other than my friends and family or certain military terms and operations because that's what I wanted to do. They wouldn't let me in because I smoked weed. And I didn't want to shave my face. And I wanted to have tattoos. And they said no to all that. Now they don't care. Isn't that crazy how time has changed? But all right, let's see what ChatGPT has to say. And we'll go from there.
Deposited. ChatGPT. The content you've shared seems to contain
No, I want to start from me here.
What is the opposite of maritime jurisdiction? ChatGPT. The opposite of maritime jurisdiction would be terrestrial jurisdiction or land jurisdiction.
So terrestrial or terra firma. This is what I have put on don't mind the scary mask in there. This is what I put on my stamper. Probably can't see it because of the glare. But on the bottom here, Levitica Nation, Terrafirma Jurisdiction. So when I send out my documents, I put that on there. Let them know that I'm operating from the land jurisdiction. The land jurisdiction has the superior claim between the two. Because even the water jurisdiction is upheld by what? If you go all the way down. The land can't, the average entity and being cannot do business on the water without having made that ship. And where did the materials from that ship come from? The land. Land is superior because that's how we can live on it. Even if you live on water, you're going to still need some things from land. So terra firma jurisdiction, terrestrial jurisdiction is the superior claim. It's equity. All right. Now let's go and take a look at the rest of the information.
Jurisdiction. Maritime jurisdiction pertains to legal authority over activities that occur on the sea or other navigable waters, while terrestrial jurisdiction relates to activities that take place on land. 1/2. Does the U.S. operate in maritime or admiralty jurisdiction? ChatGPT. In the United States, The legal system primarily operates under two distinct jurisdictions, maritime.
Now, notice they said primarily. That does not mean only. That means there are other jurisdictions, but now that these corporations owned by people not here, but operating here, come here and corporatize dang near everything we got, our system has been infested with a virus called the United States Corporation. UCC 9-307, location of the debtor, letter H, the District of Columbia. How can the United States be in the District of Columbia? Because it's a corporation. That's why they fly the flag with the gold fringes indoors. Corporation. The geographical or continental United States of America is outdoors. Regular, basically still yet a wartime flag, but operating with the flagpole connected to the de jure physical ground. Non-movable. America, non-movable. Corporation, movable flagpole. Let's keep going.
Maritime, Admiralty, and Admiralty Jurisdiction. These jurisdictions are relevant to different types of cases.
Oh, here we go.
Maritime Jurisdiction, Admiralty law. This jurisdiction applies to cases involving navigable waters, maritime activities, and disputes arising at sea. Admiralty law covers matters such as maritime contracts, shipping disputes, collisions at sea, salvage, and other issues related to maritime commerce.
Whoa, Wolf. Whoa. Let's back it down. Now, see, people who are operating already in maritime, they're gonna pick up some of the words and say, "Well, yeah." But see, when you're in maritime, let me break it down to you this way. In Brazil, they have a nut that they all love to eat, and they just call it a nut. Here in America, we call it a Brazil nut. Why don't the people in Brazil call it a Brazil nut? Because it's just a nut in Brazil, man. You don't use the Brazil. We don't say, "Hey, this is American air. This is a American pizza." We don't need to. That's why when you get out like the UCC book and everything in there is commerce, you should know that that book is about commerce. They don't have to say commerce this, commerce that. So what happens is these people have been in maritime jurisdiction so long that they don't refer to all that stuff as that, because they are the people who know what's going on know that's what it is. And if you don't know what it is, then you're just using it and you don't know its origins. Hence why police officers, some sheriffs, some of the three-letter agencies, Cornell Law, all the rest of these, those are all corporations. The word corp is Latin for body. Ation is to animate. So you're animating a dead body. That means it's dead. Debt, debtor, and death. The real world is equity, unincorporated associations, private this, private that. And then who incorporated that police station? Some people got together and said, "Hey, we want to be a government and we want to do policing," which actually normal police are private, but they operate all the people that they consider to be members of theirs, which is the public. That's why in their books, they can only go after U.S. citizens. They can't do anything to foreign people or foreign national. That's part of the government's thing. But okay, so some families got together and created your police district, your sheriff's department, whatever else. Now, the sheriffs are supposed to be constitutional. They are supposed to be directly, but a lot of them have corporatized, which is crappy. So if your police station has corporatized, they opened up these people, whoever owned it, the board who owns the police station, created a company. How did they do that? They created that corporation through the state. That's why they have to deal with certain things through the state. In the state, yet state of Illinois or whatever is a corporation itself, which is different than Illinois state. So understanding that, then that means the police station incorporated through the state of Illinois, state of Illinois incorporated through the U.S. corporation through the IRS, got an EIN, agreed that they are a U.S. citizen and in the public, so a member of theirs as a taxpayer, and then that all went through the United States corporation, the federal corporation, which is then located in the District of Columbia under UCC 9-307, location of debtor, letter H, which that whole thing is not actually American. So they incorporated through something that's then the United States, which is legally and lawfully foreign, though in foreign to the United States of America, but in our family. It's kind of like if your sister marries some guy, he becomes part of the family, but he's not blood. So that means all these corporations, everything out there called a corporation, is in fact family to America, but not blood. Ew, I like how you did that there. Okay. So we're all in this fun little open family, extended family picnic, but some people have de jure abilities to stand on the name America, and the other ones can't. They have to stand under the U.S. corporation. But even that U.S. corporation stands underneath, because remember, it's water admiralty jurisdiction under the United States of America, which is controlled and operated by we the people. But we the people have been asleep at the wheel. And creepy Uncle Merv over here has got his hand on the wheel, on down our pants. He's taking us somewhere. I'm not sure we want to go where Uncle Merv is trying to take us, if you know what I mean. Unless you're into that. No diddy. All right, all right. So let's get back to it. Please continue. Okay, so before we go, notice the words that we know here that should stand out. Navigable, to navigate. Activities, disputes arising at sea, disputes, maritime contracts, shipping, disputes, collisions at sea, collisions, salvage, salvage yard, salvage vehicle, maritime commerce, commercial. See, they don't have to use the word maritime in front of these because you're already there. Once again, if you're in Brazil, you don't call it a Brazil nut. I would love to see any one of you guys go to Brazil. Hey, you guys have a sack of Brazil nuts down here? They're like somebody from another country come in here and say, hey, can I buy one of those American shirts off you? Like, bro, it's just a shirt. So we've been using all of their stuff and they've been putting their stuff on us. Putting it on you. Putting it on you. But whoa, I'm not physically standing on the sea or on the ocean. They can't do that. Oh, yes, they can. Because you don't know. It took me a while to figure this one out. So this is a new bit. Coming to you live. Guarantee you probably haven't heard anybody say this part. I'm going to say the quiet part. This was ingenious. This was ingenious. See, maritime means only in the water. And how can they do what they're doing to us on land? Because they have the ability to have territories. Because their vessels have to have some land place, which is the extent of maritime jurisdiction on land to be able to build their ships and vessels and do certain businesses, courthouses, to do their business. before they access and do their business on the waterways. The District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. has the Potomac going right in it. So they're based on the water. They're on the waterfront. Where the water meets the land is called the what? The bank. The roads that they use to and fro are called the highways, the high waterways, because the water has to be high enough so that they can come in when the water's low. They have to be getting out of it before the water's low. Otherwise, they'll be stuck on land, subject to land jurisdiction. The Miami, I think, courthouse, Miami or Orlando, one of the two, and they're not the only ones, has a courthouse, and the whole courthouse itself looks like a ship from the aerial view down. Google it. Type in courthouse Miami, looks like a ship from above. You'll find it. They're laughing at you because you don't understand how to do commerce. I'm saying the part that's quiet, or I'm saying the quiet part. We're trying to learn commerce. They don't want to teach us because if we learn how to do commerce the proper way, we won't need them. Because then we'll go back to doing business privately. We'll start working together as Americans. Who cares if you're a man or a female or a she-male or a shim or a trans or a quad or a poly or an alien or a foreign or a whatever. It doesn't matter as long as we can respect each other and do business and friend or unfriend as we see fit. Right now, that system is playing all of us against each other as fools because that controversy is what makes the ripples in the water. Ripples in the water allow the boat to sail in commerce, commercial, maritime commerce, sea. That being the case, okay, Wolf, I see what you're saying there. Does that mean everything is? Well, they've water washed, if you will, a lot of things. The DLC in doctor stands for Declaration of Conformity. You've conformed from the ethereal energy form into a physical body, and the physical body is considered a vessel. The vessels are for what? Sailing. It's a vessel. The word L means God. It's a container of God. Your soul is a piece of the creator, sentient, self-aware energy, little ball of energy, little matrix. Take a picture sometimes at night or don't. It's up to you in your house or in a graveyard. See if you can catch a soul or an orb energy, a little ball of energy. Believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you what these people believe in after being a part of some of their fraternities and cultures and things of that and whatever else. You don't have to believe in the devil. It's totally fine. The devil believes in you. Let's get back to it. So with that being said, okay, so then you talked about Dr. Wolf. Okay, so then what, so wait a minute. I've seen the word, the letters DLC in a lot of things. Doctor, docket, a doc. Now you're getting it. Everything around you has been commercialized, corporatized, commerce. You're coming and going. Your birth certificate's considered a docket. Isn't that what you need for bringing in cargo? A list of what has been imported, all water words. But Wolf, I get that part. But we're not on the edge of the water. But did you know that they have within a mile of water? Oh, it's about to get good here. That they can utilize and have their claim to water jurisdiction in that area. Oh, are you guys ready? I ain't heard nobody talk about this one on YouTube. Educational purposes only. If that's the case, they can only be around water. But Wolf, then I mean, I live way inland. I'm not within a mile of an ocean or a lake or a stream because those waterways within there, that within a mile, they're able to do business, right? Here's me in my kitchen. We're going to call this the faucet. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, I'm afraid you are within a mile of water. And when you go number 2 or 2 and it gets washed away and you take your shower, please tell me where you're not within a mile of water. They piped in the maritime jurisdiction right into your house. But what if I need water? Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to participate in their jurisdiction if and when you know what's going on and how to either use that commerce correctly or not use it. This is their mentalities. Everywhere where there is water, and guess what? Your body is water, which is why your body is called a vessel, or a large percentage of it. What, 60%, 70, 60, 70% roughly water? Now you guys understand some more levels to the game. Anywhere where there's water, continuous, supposed to be continuous water, okay, would then and can fall underneath maritime jurisdiction. Let's get back to it.
Commerce. Admiralty jurisdiction. This term is often used interchangeably with maritime jurisdiction.
However,
in the United States, the federal courts have jurisdiction over admiralty cases.
Meaning water.
The U.S. Constitution grants federal courts jurisdiction.
Did you hear that? The U.S. Constitution grants. So I tell people, if you're going to try to troll me, at least go and read the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, because it says the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, grants the federal court's jurisdiction over admiralty. So that means, back up, that means all of the lower courts, which are contract courts, do not have supreme jurisdiction. So if they do you wrong in the lower courts, you can take it to federal court. I've been telling you guys. Because the federal courts have jurisdiction over them. And guess who has jurisdiction over the federal courts? The Constitution, because the Constitution grants that. And guess who has power and are the living creators, writers of that living document, the Constitution? We the people. Are you seeing it now? Do you get it? So at the very, not the bottom, but towards the bottom part of the pyramid where you've got your regular public people, public officers, et cetera, there's a hierarchy to this thing. Your bosses are going to tell you they're supreme and they're all badass. That's true over you, but not in the grand scheme of the entire pyramid. When you operate in the private with the Constitution, you become and hold the supreme power of the land. You are, in fact, sovereign as a private person, a private citizen. What a sovereign means, it means you, doesn't mean you're above the law. It means you are the creator of the law. It means you are the writer of it. It means you can change any of it at any point in time. It means that you are the creator of it. So the creation cannot be more powerful than the creator unless you waive your creator rights, freedoms, and liberties. Doesn't mean you can go out there and do whatever you want to do, because there are civil implications where you have to abide by certain things that make sense. You can't go around hurting people and denying them of their rights. But a majority of the laws written by the states are for public persons, their members, who choose to be a resident or a resident, waiving your constitutional rights to become a public person because you wanted that driver's license, you wanted that bank account. So they gave you a public name, which is your name in all capitalized letters. They gave you a document to prove that you are a resident and a member of the public called the birth certificate. That name in all capitalized letters, capitis dimitio maxima, Latin for raising of the letters, making financial compensation on, is a diminishment of your rights and loss of name. Because you're using something that is not you, though it looks like you. It's your doppelganger, and that doppelganger is a dead entity while you are living. And by law, a legal person is separate and distinct from the two, or from the latter. Let's get back to it.
The U.S. Constitution grants federal courts jurisdiction over
Yeah.
admiralty and maritime matters under Article 3, Section 2.
What?
The Judiciary Act of 1789 also addresses admiralty jurisdiction.
Okay.
In practical terms, both maritime and admiralty jurisdiction refer to the legal framework governing activities on navigable.
Legal. There's a difference between legal and lawful. Legal is the corporation and anything that you can do with someone's consent. Lawful is the United States of America, the Constitution, de jure, equity. And this gives them governing activities over navigable waters, waterways, high waterways.
Navigable waters, but the term admiralty is
Anywhere there's a high waterway. So through symbolism, they're trying to say that the roads that they built with our money that are for public and private use are navigable waterways. I all day would challenge that to say water or a solid surface, if you're going to break it down, if you're going to really argue it out, that is not under maritime jurisdiction. That's land. It's solid. Maritime and admiralty do not mean solid. It means liquid, flowing. But anyway, that might be a little too far and sitting down in the symbolism to argue, because they're going to get you with the contracts that you've already signed and say, well, yeah, you're right on a spiritual or esoteric or symbolist level, but we're going to just ignore that and keep going. Well, legally they can do that. Lawfully they cannot. And if you're already in their jurisdiction arguing it out, then you're already in so deep. You've already made out with the prostitute, and you played more than just tip. You're all the way in as far as they're concerned. But that's not true, Wolf. If I just, well, once again, dog crap cake theory. You take a little nugget of dog poop and put it in a cake, mix it up. Is not the whole cake tainted? Or are you just going to find the good part to eat? Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's keep going.
Is often used to specifically denote the legal jurisdiction in this context. The application of admiralty law can extend to cases involving vessels, shipping, marine insurance, and other maritime-related issues. What is Terrafirma Jurisdiction? ChatGPT. Terrafirma is a Latin term that translates to solid ground or dry land. In the context of jurisdiction, Terrafirma jurisdiction is not a commonly used legal term. However, it can be understood to refer to the legal authority and jurisdiction that applies to activities that occur on land as opposed to those that take place on the sea or navigable waters. In many legal systems, including the United States, the term used for jurisdiction over land-based matters is often referred to as
Okay, so that's basically just a recap, but I guess we'll let it finish up. It's already there.
terrestrial jurisdiction, or simply land jurisdiction. This encompasses a wide range of legal issues that occur on solid ground, such as property disputes, criminal cases, contract disputes, and various civil matters unrelated to maritime activities.
Did you catch that? They're trying to say essentially whatever you're doing with that driver's license and whatever else is in maritime jurisdiction, but did they not in fact happen on solid ground? And your property, they're putting your property into their maritime. They're putting your civil matter into, you're putting your dispute. They're putting all these things into the wrong jurisdiction. Because they got you to register, to contract, to waive your rights, and commit a fraud and say that these things are all in maritime jurisdiction, and they're not.
activities. In summary, while terra
Well, and let me say this correctly. Technically, if you are waiving your rights and saying that I do put this under maritime, then on paper, it is. Your matter is. But where did it actually really happen? On land. That's a shell game. So you can't argue that, no, I'm not in these things, but they're going to say, look, you signed your driver's license. You signed your 1040 as a U.S. citizen. You're saying that these things happen in our jurisdiction. So then they can turn around and say, well, you committed the fraud then if you did that. Well, no, I didn't know. So it was signed under duress and coercion and trickery, fraud. And then guess where this all should be battled out? The federal court or higher.
Terrafirma jurisdiction might not be a standard legal term. It can be interpreted as synonymous with terrestrial or land jurisdiction, which involves legal authority over activities that occur on dry land.
There it is. There it is. Do not be a belligerent, do not be a combatant. Knowing this information is one thing, but its application or administration or submission is a different thing. So don't worry, guys. We are literally a couple of weeks away from the seminars you guys have been waiting for. I've been consulting, doing my research to find out how we should set them up, what all should be in there, prices. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to try to price everything out pretty fair. Some will be obviously more expensive than others because we're going to give away a lot of information to the point where once you guys learn the stuff, you guys will be able to break things down and basically do what I do and have a live. Okay. So some will be more, some will be less. They're going to be set up where you guys will be able to, buy the videos. It's going to be me giving out the basic information and whatever else. And then we will have some where basically like I do on my lives, where you guys will have an open one where you guys will be able to ask certain questions and whatever else. But due to wanting to get the information out in its most enriched form, these will be recorded privately, but then made available to you guys who want to get them. And the reason why is because as I'm going through all this stuff, I'm going to need to be in a state of mind where I can give you guys literally the whole kit and caboodle. Like this is like, from what I know, it's going to be like 90% of everything that can be put on that side as education. So I'm not saying this is, legal advice or professional, whatever. Do with it as you see fit. And you guys will be able to break things down and learn. Okay, so this is going to be like a school. So the people that will be, what should I say? In other words, it'll be me speaking like I'm speaking now in videos, just so I can get all the information out without having 100 million questions asked in there, and then it being like a 20-hour video. Okay, so it's going to be just a powerhouse video, straight information, all the goods. And but then I will have some outside of that, which will some will probably be free, some will be, normal, cheap cost, whatever. Where you guys can ask questions and whatever else in an open forum. But the main seminar videos will be just me like this setting, talking about all of the goods. Okay. So with that being said, that's it, guys. Take care of yourselves. So check out Black Site 32 from time to time. Check out the seminars page. You'll be able to see the seminars listed there. And if you want to buy them, cool. If not, then that's fine. And then I'll have dates available when I'm going to do lives. The paid ones, of course. The free ones will just be announced like normal. So they'll pop up. So no matter what, add yourself on YouTube as a subscriber or as a member. So you can get the members only video, Black Site 32. You can sign up for the newsletter. It also has all of my platforms for all the social media places that I am on there to make sure that you're not being scammed. And so for the love of God, watch out for expensive gurus and the ones that are all shady and hiding who they are, and they have to make it all mysterious. Hey, go around the corner and pay this money and do it, and that's for a guy named Bob. you know Stay away from all that stuff. This stuff is already all out there, guys. So it's frankly ridiculous. And then make sure that these people in the groups, even if they are my group, okay, or you're talking to somebody on one of my threads or underneath the comment section, if they do not use my exact name that's on Black Site 32, and be careful of the spelling. These little clever little demons out there, they like to put an extra like period or a dash or an extra letter, or if it's not exactly that, it's not me. And here's the number one way you can know it's not me. I don't have time to really be in the DMs answering a whole lot of questions. So that's one. If this guy is talking to you all the time, it ain't me, period. That's a fact. Number two, I'm not going to ask you for money on there. The only place that I would ever ask you for money is on here, and I would direct you to Black Site 32 because all my stuff, all my checks and balances are in there. I'm accountable. It's not going to be some shady little thing. Oh, send me this Cash App over here. If it's not my exact Cash App or whatever else mentioned, word for word, letter for letter, etc., on Black Site, don't trust it. All right, period. And if you're not sure, go to Black Site 32 and check it out. Email me there. I have my exact emails on there. All right. And if you're not sure and they're asking you for a lot of money or to invest in something, they're talking to you a lot or broken English, it ain't me. Okay. All right. You guys take care. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later and stay healthy out there. I appreciate you guys and continue to shine. And I hope that each one of you guys get your dreams accomplished. So can't stop, don't stop. Although now when I think about that statement and how Diddy used to use it all the time, can't stop, won't stop.